Hello, my name is Troy Beans with BeforeISayIDo.org. Now, some of you may be saying, wow, that's a different website than before, dedicated to young women. As I travel around the country and I talk to beautiful, successful, amazing young women, when they talk about relationships, they don't just want to get married. They don't just want to have a family. They want a family. They want a marriage that lasts. They don't want to raise their kids with another stepmom. They want to do it with their husband. And yet when they look around, they see so few families that are still together. Some of them say they've never seen a good marriage. There's fear in their eyes. Before I Say I Do is dedicated to showing the path, to showing the direction, because you can have that kind of relationship. It's there for everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about, does your boyfriend have character? Now, character is one of those things, what exactly does that mean? 3 things the dictionary talks about. Someone with character is honest. Someone with character has courage. They're willing to do the hard things. They don't back away from a challenge. And number 3, someone with character, a boyfriend with character, would have integrity, which goes deeper than just yes or no honesty. In their heart of hearts, they're going to do the right thing. So how can you tell if your boyfriend has character? Well, I'm going to give you a short 5-question test. Very short, very quick, take hardly any time at all, and you will know whether your boyfriend has character or not. Question number 1, and these are yes and no answers. Not 1 through 5, not 1 through 10, not maybe, sort of, could it be. It's yes or no, because you know. When you stop and think about it, you know whether this is a yes or a no. Question number 1, would he cheat? Yes or no? Regardless of circumstances, would he cheat? Number 2, would he lie? Yes or no? On an important issue, would he try and hide it from you? Would he lie to you about it if he thought it was in his best interest? Yes or no? Question number 3, does he tear you down? Maybe he kind of throws little jabs at you in public. They kind of hurt just a little bit. Or maybe it's more in private, where you're just not quite good enough at this, or you're not quite good enough at that. It maybe he even tells you need to lose a little weight, or you need to cut your hair, or not wear so much makeup, or study more, or whatever. Get to work more on time, whatever but he's constantly just pecking away at you. Does he tear you down? Yes or no? The 4th one, the 4th question is, does he put himself in front of you? For example, say you're in a situation, you're together, and maybe someone makes a negative comment at the 2 of you. Does he circle the wagons around the 2 of you, protect you? Or does he kind of separate himself aside and kind of put you on your own as he protects himself? Does he protect himself over you? Yes or no? And the 5th one, the 5th question is his career more important than you? Maybe he's in college, maybe he's starting out in his career. I mean, there's careers that take a tremendous amount of time, and that's just all there is to it. Can't get away from that. That's not what I'm talking about. Even a guy that is in a career that takes a lot of time, you know whether whenever he can, he's going to spend time with you. He makes you more important than that career. So the question is, does he put his career ahead of you? Yes or no? Couple examples. Andy Stanley, who now has this huge, amazing church in Atlanta, Georgia. When he's first starting this church and young kids, his wife, his family needed him in the afternoon. He just told his church, I'm going home at 3 o'clock or something like that. That's just what I do. And he did, because his family needed him. He put them ahead of his career. Or Bob Goff, just made partner in a law firm at 29, and his kids are small and they're starting to grow, and he's like, I want to be here for this. And he announces one day, I'm taking 3 months off. They said, you can't do that. He just did. He just did. Put his family ahead of his career. So we look at these 5 questions, and nobody's perfect. I mean, if you have a guy, you can just like, no, 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 on all 5 of them, emphatically no. That's a great guy. That's somebody to hang on to. That's a man with real character. But for a lot of people, there's going to be, kind of a yes on 1, 2, 3. How do you handle that? What do you do with that? Well, first off, really think about it. I mean, really evaluate it. Why is that a yes for you on any one of those questions? And then find a time with your boyfriend and sit down and talk to him about it. I mean, have the courage to just lay it out and say, I have a fear that this would be a yes, and here's why I feel that way. Then zip it up and let him talk. Let him tell you. Now you're going to get one of 3 responses. Either he's just not going to engage. He's just not going to talk about it. He's going to avoid it. He's going to run away from it. He's just not going to go there. That's a massive red flag. Because if he's not going to engage now as your boyfriend, why in the world would he engage as your husband? Seriously, something to think about. It. The second response would be, okay, he listens. He goes, wow, I see what you're talking about. I would like to change this. I think I could make this better. And so he does. He works at it. He talks about it. But you know what? Over time, nothing really changes. Maybe you have this conversation a couple of times. And he's always very apologetic, sounds very willing to improve on his character, but he just doesn't. That's a red flag. It's a big red flag. Third response is, yeah, I see what you're talking about. Or maybe at first he doesn't see what you're talking about, but over time he comes around and he goes, you know what? This needs to change. He becomes very intentional about changing it, making it different, improving his character. And very quickly, I want to throw one thing in here. We often say, well, you can't change your spouse, and this is not about trying to change your boyfriend in the basic person that he is. I mean, he is who he is. But if you want to date a man with character, you want to have a spouse who has character, then it's completely within your right to bring these things up and let him respond. See how he handles it. And if he handles it right, man, you've got a man with character. You've got a place to move forward with. If he doesn't, well, then you have a decision to make. Do you have the courage to walk away? Because long term, you want to live with a man with character. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below. You have a wonderful day, and I hope you find a boyfriend with serious, serious character. And remember, love always overcomes fear. And let God create a miracle in you today. Talk to you soon.